Today, I'm going to talk about small and medium enterprises or SMEs in Malaysia. We will explore their definitions, their importance in the economy, and the support available for these businesses. Definition of SMEs. In the Malaysian context, SMEs are categorized based on the number of employees and annual sales turnover. These definitions vary slightly across sectors. In the manufacturing sector, a small enterprise has between 5 to less than 75 employees with an annual sales turnover of 300,000 to less than 15 million. A medium enterprise has between 75 to less than 200 employees with an annual sales turnover of 15 million to not exceeding 50 million. In the service and other sectors, a small enterprise has between 5 to less than 30 employees with an annual sales turnover of 300,000 to less than 3 million. A medium enterprise has between 30 to less than 75 employees with an annual sales turnover of 3 million to not exceeding 20 million.
Next part is financing difficulty of SME. First, inadequate government support. And another area that seems to be lacking in encouragement by the government in terms of financing is that SME in Malaysia are badly affected. These gaps are recognized and include factors such as low availability and visibility of specialized financial initiatives, the intricate execution of relevant application, inadequate financing, and deficiency in the offering of special product. In conventional support measure, there is usually no distinction made between the need of different SME, as they are assumed to be the same, especially those in the startup category. Furthermore, there is little financial literacy making up for this problem, like poor decision making, financial planning. Next is cash flow problem. Majority of SME face cash flow issue when the entity cannot generate sufficient cash to finance its near-term need. There are generic causes such as poor financial management, customer slow payment, and problem concerning inventory disposition. These problems are also compounded by shrugging operational costs and other outside determinative such as economic recession. Last but not least is limited access to credit. First, stringent loan requirement. Banks and financial institutions do appear to have rigid criteria and guidelines on lending to SME, normally riddled with requirement for collateral things the borrower pledges to a lender to secure a loan, and time-consuming documentation such as elaborate statement of finance, business plan, and sometimes even personal guarantee from the owner of the businesses. SME, more specifically the relatively new or small one, may find all this very hard to comply with. Either it may not have the necessary asset to pledge as collateral or bear the administrative burden of compiling voluminous documentation. Last, creditworthiness. Another challenging barrier is the question of creditworthiness. SME can have a limited credit history or patchy financial record compared to a large company that have been in existence for some time and have built their credit profile. SME may not be able to provide enough data to enable lender to understand their creditworthiness. This makes it hard for lending firms to understand the risk factor associated with lending to SME. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next, I will explain about strategy to elevate those concepts. The first step is with government support and incentive, which is simplify access to grant and tax incentive. Simplify access to grant, that means the government needs to streamline the grant and subsidy application process to make it easier for SME to benefit from the available support. Tax incentive, SME that invest in sustainable practice can encourage economic growth while promoting sustainability by apply for tax incentive and rebate. Okay, the second step is encourage better cash flow by streamlining account receivable process, tightening account payable procedure, and implementing cost control measure. Streamline account receivable process, that means SME has to ensure prompt and accurate invoicing along with clear payment terms to speed up cash inflow. Implement automated system for invoicing and follow-ups to reducing the risk of delay or missed payment. Additionally, consider offering yearly payment incentive to encourage your customer to pay more quickly. Tighten account payable procedure. SME must negotiate favorable payment terms with supplier to extend payment due dates without incurring penalty. In addition, SME need to take advantage of yearly payment discount when available. An effective account payable system ensure timely payment while preserving working capital. Implement cost control measure. SME must carefully review their expenses and identify area for potential cost saving. Then, SME can also negotiate better terms with vendors, explore competitive price, and eliminate unnecessary expenses. Streamlining costs can free up cash for important business operation. The last strategy is strengthening financial infrastructure via credit guarantee scheme and alternative financing. Credit guarantee scheme, by enhancing scheme like the Credit Guarantee Corporation, can help reduce the risk for lenders and improve SME access to credit. Alternative financing, which is by promoting alternative financing options such as peer-to-peer lending, venture capital, and crowdfunding, can provide SME with more avenues to secure funding. Crowdfunding platforms such as Kickstarter and Indiegogo can help SME raise funds from a large number of small investors, especially for innovative products. Peer-to-peer lending platforms like Funding Societies and Fundastic in Malaysia provide SME with more flexible financing options. That's all the strategy to alleviate those concerns.
Now, I'm going to talk about the different sources of finance available to small and medium-sized enterprise or SMEs and how these sources can impact their financial health, growth potential, and overall business strategy. Let's start with internal sources of finance. The first one is retained earnings. This refers to the profits that a company reinvests back into the business instead of distributing them to a shareholder. Using retained earnings is beneficial because it allows SMEs to finance their operations and growth without incurring additional debt. This helps maintain a healthy balance sheet and avoids interest costs. The main advantages are that there are no interest or repayment obligations, and it preserves control of the company within the existing management. However, the downside is that the funds available are limited by the business profitability. This might restrict the company's ability to undertake significant growth projects. Another internal source is owner's equity. This involves injecting personal savings or additional equity from existing owners into the company. Increasing the company's capital base this way avoids debt. The benefits include no repayment or interest costs, and it keeps ownership and control within the existing stakeholders. But this method also carries the risk to personal assets and may not provide sufficient funds for large-scale financing needs. Now, let's move on to the external sources of finance. The first one is bank loans. This is a common way for SMEs to obtain significant capital. Bank loans provide a substantial influx of capital but come with interest costs and repayment obligations, which can strain cash flow. They offer access to substantial funds and can be structured to match business needs, whether short-term or long-term. The downsides include interest costs, stringent collateral and credit requirements, and the regular repayment schedules can impact cash flow. Another external source is equity financing, which involves selling shares to investors. This raises funds without adding debt but dilutes ownership and control. The advantages are no repayment or interest costs, access to large amounts of capital, and investors can provide valuable expertise and connections. However, the cons include dilution of ownership, potential loss of control, and the need to share profits with investors. In summary, today's presentation has highlighted the diverse sources of finance available to small and medium-sized enterprises. We explored internal sources such as retained earnings and owner's equity, which offer control and flexibility but may have limitations. External options like bank loans and equity financing provide access to larger capital, but come with interest costs, repayment obligations, and potential dilution of ownership. Understanding this option is crucial for SMEs to make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and growth aspirations. Thank you for your attention.